Thank you for tuning in today. We hope what you're about to hear will encourage you and bless you, leaving you with the joy of the Lord in your heart. Continue to stay tuned for today's awesome encouraging words from Pastor Dr. James Sutton. We always want you to stay encouraged, blessed, and full of love.
Hello, this is Pastor Jay of Walk in Truth Radio Network with your encouraging word for today. Yesterday, I talked about the struggle, and today I want to talk about change. There's a proverbial question that everybody asks, and it goes something like this. What is guaranteed out of life, this life? And we would normally say death and taxes. But I also will add change. From the day you were conceived, you were a product and a recipient of change. Change is inevitable. Change cannot be stopped. Change is something that we all go through in many different areas of our life. Financial change, educational change, social change, religious change, relationship change. Change is inevitable as we head towards the inevitable of death. So why is change important? And what must we learn from change? Every breath that you take, every exchange, inhale and exhale, you are changing. You have a finite number of breaths to take, and therefore each breath is taking you towards the destination of death. And you're changing whether you believe it or not. Just think about this. If you really realized and paid attention to the fact that every breath that you take, every in, every out, you are changing. Your body is changing. The breath you took when you were born is not the same breath that you take now because of health changes, because of relationship changes, but you are changing. And we must adapt to change. And those who adapt to change through struggle will be successful in every aspect of their life. When you are willing to embrace change, learn from change, excel in change, then there's nothing that the world can throw at you that you won't be able to handle. God told the Israelites in Jeremiah 29:11, He told them, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." And this was on the heels of their change. And the change was going to be a struggle. And God had to remind them of his promise that he has a future for them. But they had to go through the change. They had to go through the struggle. And that even though they're going through the struggle and changing, that God didn't change what he promised them. And you can't look at what you go through as a reference point to where God is in your life and how God is performing in your life. Because normally when we look at God, we want to be blessed. We want to get stuff. We want to have things. We want to be prosperous financially, socially, politically, and educationally, and health-wise. But God says, don't measure the struggle by my love for you. Understand that I'm in the struggle with you. Let me give you another example. A man is in the cell and he's praying out to God, like John the Baptist and those throughout the Bible, the 3 Hebrew boys. When the 3 Hebrew boys were put in the fire, which was an example of change and struggle, God was in it with them. Now, God delivered them, but their position in their mind was, whether God delivered me or not, he's still God. Well, in the midst of your struggle and the midst of your change, you have to give God praise. So it honors God when you're going through the struggle and give God's praise. When you pray, when you acknowledge him in the midst of your change and struggle. So as saints of God and as people of in the world and not of the world, we still focus on Jesus and what he's doing and what he's done by the power of the Holy Spirit that resides in us to help guide us through the struggle of change. So change is good. Struggle is good. And the carnal mind doesn't like change. They like things to stay the same. That's why people harp on what you used to be and not who you are today. As a born again believer, you are an agent of change, being an ambassador. You bring change into the world. You bring light into dark places. You are in the light because he is in the light. When you walk in the light, you walk under the power of the light, and the light dispels the darkness, and the darkness, the people who can't change, the people who want to stay in darkness, can't overcome it, can't overtake it, and can't perceive it. That's why he said in Isaiah 43, 18 and 19, remember not the former things, nor consider things of old. Behold, I'm doing a new thing now. Can you not perceive it? I will make a way in your wilderness and rivers in your desert, because he said, I will bring about a change that will make your dry places wet and your way straight while you're going through the struggle. So I want you to think about that. Change, struggle. It's good for the soul. It's good for the body. And if you want to stop catching hell, start pitching God. And step up and be accountable and responsible for the change that you're experiencing in your life. Don't blame anybody. If you're going through it, God has allowed it. Continue to give God some praise and bless him as you're going through your struggle of change. This is Pastor Jay of Walk in Truth Radio Network. I always want you to be encouraged, be blessed, and be at peace. Don't forget to stay tuned for Karen's Corner in 2021. If this message has been a blessing to you, go look down in the description box and please donate on your favorite platform of choice, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. You can always get in touch with me by emailing me at witmin@yahoo.com or on WhatsApp at 314-629-0024. Again, be blessed, be encouraged, and be at peace. But always remember, walk in the truth of the Lord, because the Lord is full of change. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to today's encouraging words. If these words have inspired you, please take the time to support the encouraging word for today with a donation and your prayers. We want to thank you in advance and would like to hear from you. Contact us at sutton968@gmail.com. Or check us out on Walk in Truth Radio Network YouTube. Thank you for listening, and consider subscribing and sharing.
If you do not have a place of worship, please consider Walk in Truth Christian Fellowship Church your home. We are a safe place to worship, supporting the edification of the body with all of its gifts. Sound biblical teaching is at the center of our worship as a disciple of Jesus Christ. Sharing the fruit of the Spirit and moving forward in faith through serving our community is our privilege and pleasure. Please feel free to contact the ministry at 636-344-0539 or email us at witmin@yahoo.com. Thank you for your consideration. Be blessed, encouraged, and walk in the truth of the Lord.